Well, guys, 24, Season 7, Episode 8, from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. I'm a little later on this than usual, but whatever. So, we're now a third of the way through the 24 Season 7 season, and man, I can't get that thing to sit down. Whatever. I guess it's kind of cool. It makes me look like Sonic the Hedgehog, apparently. That's what they say at school. Alright, where do we start here? We, start off where we left off as usual. Jack Bauer, Bill Buchanan, Renee Walker, Matobo and his wife all not the wife, all go to meet President Taylor, try and, gain her support. They do figure they can trust her if nobody else, which makes sense. So, I guess there's really nothing in particular to think about that. It's all just set up. They go meet her and they work something out. She is, within reason, convinced that these people are to be trusted, and everything looks good until Colonel Ike Dubaku makes a phone call. Says that he has the first gentleman in captivity, proves it, apparently cuts off his finger, which is not fun, and, well, they have something to hold over the president's head still after all that. So, I was thinking last episode, with the CIP device gone, the major conflict of this season is already done. So how are they going to do this? And, this works for now, but it's a very short-term thing, so I hope they're going to introduce something new at some point. And, well, it doesn't look good. The usual demands are made. Withdraw your troops, give me the Prime Minister, or I will kill him by 4 o'clock today, which is in less than an hour at the time he makes the demand. And of course, she's very adamant about all this. Even when the stakes are this high, she feels the need to stick to her policy. So Jack and Bill and Renee agree to form a quick operation that will try to save the first gentleman's life in the next 45 minutes. So things are very fast-paced and frantic. They have no time to argue, and Larry Moss actually gets involved. So, I said last episode I'm really starting to not trust anybody. I was watching this episode thinking Larry Moss could end up being a bad guy. I was starting to kind of see it, I was thinking, uh-oh, it's going to happen. Last episode, I thought Ethan was going to end up being a bad guy. It doesn't look like that's going to happen, but I'm suspecting everybody right now. So when he's brought in, I immediately think, oh, crap. But so far, so good. He gets brought in on the operation. He's a little skeptical. He doesn't like the way things are going, but he respects it. He understands that there's something going on here that he doesn't know about. Because all the stuff that's going on, it's being kept secret from everybody, even the FBI. So we have all that going on. Let's see. And we have an interesting, internal conflict in the episode where Jack goes to find another Secret Service agent that he has reason to believe is complicit with the Dubaku regime, as you might call it. And he goes to find him and interrogate him, which he does successfully. Meanwhile, Renee goes off to the Secret Service agent's house to interrogate his family. And, this creates the whole thing. It's kind of like in The Dark Knight in Batman. It was the major conflict of that movie was all about these guys play with rules. If you do, you'll never win. So, Jack Bauer's always been the kind of guy who is willing to play without rules. So he would be like Batman if Batman didn't have any rules and was willing to screw the rules. Yeah, screw the rules when it absolutely needed to be done. So, in the movie The Dark Knight, you kind of saw what Batman was saying. In this 24 series, you see what Jack Bauer's saying. So, I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of an interesting conflict when you put it that way. And let's see. Anyway, through over the phone, sounds of interrogation coming from their 11-month-old baby or whatever. It reminded me of a scene in Pride and Glory. It wasn't a very good movie, but there was a similar scene with a baby and interrogation. I don't think anything was going on, but the implication was that something was, and he does eventually give the location of the first president up, but, excuse me, the first gentleman up, but dies trying to escape from Jack. So, you know, Renee is forced with this conflict because she did all these things to an innocent wife and an 11-month-old baby or whatever it was, and, you know, she kind of feels bad about it. She knows she had to do it, but, you know, she gets to thinking about it, and, you know, there's a conflict. What's she going to do? Is she going to quit? Is she going to keep going? What? And she ends up saying, I'll quit tomorrow. For today, I got to finish this. So, that's good. She didn't break down and cry about it. She didn't just act like nothing happened, because something happened. But it was a good compromise. She decides, okay, I'll do what I need to do today, and tomorrow I'll think about it. So that's cool. Subplots. A lot of the subplots are actually kind of disappearing. I mean, either they're done, they're not interesting anymore, or whatever. Like, I know that the weird guy that works in the FBI is having an affair with somebody who works at the FBI. I don't care about that anymore. That's done. I know Larry Moss and Renee Walker are in some kind of relationship. I don't care about that anymore. So they introduce new things. Like, last episode I said they brought in Dubaku's girlfriend, which I thought was really, really bad in that episode when they first introduced it right at the end. Again, I said it felt like a Dave Chappelle skit where they're parodying 24 and then all of a sudden they show this guy, he's actually a pimp or something like that. I think it's something Chappelle would do. Anyway, they did it again this episode, and I got the same feeling, but as they went on with it, I kind of understood what they were trying to do here. They were trying to make the bad guy more human. They were trying to show that he has a life. They were trying to give us another subplot, which I like because a lot of the old subplots are going. So we see this girl who thinks that Dubaku is some guy named Samuel, and he works on shipping manifests. And the sister, she has a sister who's confined to a wheelchair, and the sister's very suspicious of Samuel, or Dubaku, or whatever. Turns out she has a letter from immigration detailing that nobody of his name, Samuel, whatever he said his last name was, has ever been immigrated from Sangala to America like he claims to have been. So she knows he's not who he says, and she's trying to get him out of her life. She calls her up, says, get out of here, and he says, okay, fine, whatever, because he doesn't want any trouble. He knows that this whole thing could endanger his operation. So there's a new subplot here. There's the girl and her sister, the girl being in love with Dubaku, and they live a very normal life and assumes that he does too. So I don't know, something could happen there. I didn't mind it so much by the end of the episode. Anyway, while this is going on, Jack and Renee break into the basement where they're keeping Taylor, shoot all the guys. Dubaku's not there. He's walking around in the street for some reason. I can't remember why. But one of the bad guys, just before he dies, manages to shoot Taylor in the stomach because it had just been revealed that the president was not going to be complicit in the demands just minutes before. So literally by about 3 or 4 seconds, the president did get shot. And we see in the previews that he's still alive in the next episode, but he's in critical condition. We have no idea if he's going to live or die. And that's the nice thing about 24. They'll kill off anyone except Jack Bauer. I'm done.